The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Fantasy. Get to 1K in deposit match for Summer Fantasy with the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Wednesday afternoon, August 6th, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to break down the games for Thursday. I'm Scott Reichel, joined again by Dylan Rockford. Together, we're going to break down the games for tomorrow. Dylan, how's it going with you? I know there was a game going on today with your team. You don't want to talk about it, but how's it going? What's up?
I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying the day. It's a little humid out here, but yeah, do not want to talk about the Mets. I know we will eventually, but let's do
Actually, we won't. Both of our teams don't play tomorrow, so
I think that's a positive for fans. Shout out Shohei, 1,000th hit. Did you see that?
I did.
1,000 home run.
I saw he was pitching today, and he also hit a homer. So classic Ohtani game.
Yeah, he's good, but another bad game for the Mets. Tough one for the Tigers, too. They've been struggling as well, so we had some day baseball here, but thank God the Phillies lost. I know you said they took the first two, but Trevor Rogers, man, holy shit, he's phenomenal.
He looks really good.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that in that Twins game, I actually watched a decent amount of it because I had a prop in that game that I gave out in the prop show this morning. I gave out Gasper, some random Minnesota made-up player. Took him no hits, and he ended up having no hits, which worked out.
Nice.
But in the process, I had to watch Jack Flaherty pitch for about 5 innings plus.
Terrible.
It is not a fun time,
No.
I'll tell you that much. Damn, Flaherty was terrible today. But either way, Minnesota's random lineup in the youth movement was actually pretty good. They won the series against Detroit, so good for them. And they ended up scoring 9 runs.
You usually bet when I tune in or when I see your plays, you usually do under a hit. Is that something
really
that
do
you
like fading batters? Yeah, it's one of my favorite type of props to actually use. And people can ask me sometimes why I actually like betting unders because a lot of people love overs.
Yeah.
It's more fun. You don't have to basically root against your guy every single time he comes to the plate. I feel like it's kind of twofold. One is batting averages across the league keep dropping. We keep talking about it. The league average, I think, now is like 240. So you have less hits per game just based on the actual math behind it. If batting averages keep going down and the props are going to keep staying the same prices, then why do I not keep betting the unders? You see less hits per game on average. So it's that reason. Second of all is conceptually, if you're going to give me some really bad hitters, and there are some really bad hitters in the league in the bottom of the lineup, I feel like people acknowledge it. If I asked you and probably 9 other random people to name the hardest act in all of sports, what's the hardest thing to do? What would you tell me?
Hit a fastball.
Okay. Point is, most people would say hit a baseball.
Yeah.
So people acknowledge how impossible it actually is. And I understand that they're professionals. I get it. But if you're going to give me some players who are recently called up or they're batting around 200 and they've proven whether it's a fastball, an off-speed pitch, they can't hit the damn ball.
No.
And I can get decent prices fading these guys, then why would I not keep fading these guys? Because people, you see on Twitter and social media, all these insane home run parlays and these long shot 150 to 1, miracle plays, and people chase those. I go for the safer option, which is expecting bad players to be bad. Once again, if you get a hit in every 3 plate appearances, or if you get a hit 3 times out of every 10 at bats, you're a Hall of Famer. I feel like people don't realize that enough. Like, there are a lot of really bad hitters in the league. Averages going out the window in favor of walks and home runs, and pitchers have gotten tougher. So I'll keep betting unders because it's pretty hard to actually get good games from pretty bad players in the bottom of these lineups.
I know most people love betting overs. The public, pros versus shows, they love
it's all the home run stuff you'll see on Twitter. They all just chase it.
I think actually you get more value on the under. And that's
why you do, because I
love betting the under. I love betting under. I'm not a big player prop guy like you, but I love betting. Just even if I bet the total, I love betting under. I'd rather bet the under than I bet the over, especially now, especially when it's starting to get a little colder out as we get into fall. But yeah, I love betting unders, and I think there's more value. And not a lot of people bet it, as opposed to people love betting overs because they want to see runs and whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you.
And you could always bet on some potential good spots. For example, you have some guys who are solely platoon players. I faded Jahmai Jones a couple of times, for example, on Detroit. He only bats against lefties. He will not bat against a righty. So if you're only looking at probably 2 plate appearances in the entire game and you're giving me even money for no hits, I'm going to take it. He's not going to play the entire game. So you get even more value taking unders because once they get swapped out of the game, you automatically win.
Yeah.
So you can find some spots on there too. So I'm a big under player prop guy, and it's worked out for me.
The worst is you mentioned people chasing the home run parlays. It's one thing to chase it, but it's also the bad attempts at fraud and the numbers not adding up.
You saw that tweet that was circulating, right?
I saw that, and I tried to do the math while at work, and math wasn't mathed.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there's this Twitter account, which apparently goes by many names. I heard that it's been scamming people for a while. I believe its name was All In Abe, and he posted a slip on FanDuel that was a 2-pick parlay that won. He risked like $750 on a 2-pick home run parlay to win allegedly $23,000. The problem is the parlay odds did not equal the payout on the bottom of the page.
No.
So naturally, everyone realized this guy was a scammer because I think it was like 15-1, and he risked $750. So if you do the parlay quickly and you actually create a simple calculation, that comes out to around $11,000, and the payout was for double that. So the guy clearly just photoshopped a losing parlay or photoshopped the parlay to manipulate the payout to scam people into joining his dub club. That's basically what happened. So, yeah, there you go. You want to add on that? Because that's kind of a summary of what happened.
No, I just think it's actually really unfortunate that there are people out there like that. And I think it's even worse that they're getting people to sign up and pay hard-earned money into a loser's account.
Yeah, pretty much. And that opens up a whole separate discussion about Discord, paid Discords for sports bettors and all that stuff, because you have some people that actually do hit parlays.
Yeah.
And they'll tweet out the parlays they hit, but they'll also ignore the 49 other parlays they lost the same night. So you don't actually see that, and that's how they attract new people. Because if you think about the actual cost that most of these paid Discord servers charge to get into their server, it's probably like $40 a month.
100%. And I think transparency is the biggest thing, especially getting into it not kind of late as opposed to others. You post your plays every day, but you'll
on
post
YouTube,
yeah, on YouTube, but even on your Twitter, I see you post when you lose. Adam, Mal, me.
It's all transparency.
It's all transparent. Like whatever we say on the pod or we say on our social media account is what we're actually putting our hard-earned money in. And I think it's actually really irresponsible for people to do that because they're getting people. They're getting people. And, there are a lot. SGPN is an amazing company that gives out plays every day across multiple sports for free. So you don't have to pay. That is the crazy part. Like if you're paying for something, yes, you're going to have a hit every so often, but you're going to lose more than you win. And I think that's the shame of it. So,
well, to go back to what I was in the middle of saying with regard to how much it costs to join the server, if you charge $40 for a month of this random Discord and you have, let's say, 500 members inside the Discord, that's $20K. So suddenly, when the head of the actual sports Discord is sending out like 50 parlays a day and one of them wins, you're like, wow, this guy's spending money. He's actually not. He's spending your money. He's recycling all of the money that you gave him to join the damn server. And he's just recycling that to basically free roll these parlays. And I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough.
No, not at all.
So,
it's a bad scheme that people are doing right now. But
to be honest, I'm surprised it took this long. It felt like to be honest, for paid Discord people to realize how easy it is to Photoshop tickets. I thought this would be a thing from like years ago. The fact is, we've seen it a lot more over the last couple of months. I kind of thought we would end up getting this like a year or two ago at this point. But you can tell if you look closely enough. Some people don't bother with the payouts, which is just embarrassing. The font, the color's a bit off. You can tell. But once again, be careful out there. If you are paying for picks, be careful that you're not getting scammed anyway. You shouldn't pay for picks anyway.
No.
But if you're going to at least try to find one that's proven to not scam people as a bare minimum. Do a little bit of research besides just following the most followed guys on Twitter that are spamming out these parlays, and they act like they are basically the greatest sports bettors of all time.
And if you're going to follow other people's pick, and last point I can make, and then we could start. If you're going to follow, don't follow Big Abe Lincoln with a Bitcoin emoji on for his icon. Follow like sharp bettors. Follow people like us or people in Vegas that dedicate their lives to it. Like don't follow these random accounts that have discords and charge $40-$50. Like they're losers.
The truth is, I feel like no, you're right. I think that if you wanted to actually be specific, if you want to back some people in theory, people that actually show their face is probably a good place to start. Because a lot of people hide behind either as you said, an Abe Lincoln type of like image or emoji or like something like that, and that's what they're basically going to be promoting themselves at. It's because they're afraid of showing their face.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep an eye out for stuff like that. Something to keep in mind.
More.
So There you go. Anyway,
I'm so glad we talked about this instead of the almost no hit from Gavin.
Well, we only got like four games tomorrow, so we got time to talk about some stuff. But to be honest, the Yankees and Mets are not worth talking about right now.
They're not.
It's just bad baseball. There's really nothing else to add. So,
I mean, you guys are 3 outs away from winning.
See, the best part of the game today is that Devin Williams can't pitch because he punted the other 2 games of the series. So,
oh my god,
they're probably gonna use Bednar.
It's crazy that they changed the generational rule for like shaving for that guy.
I mean, just imagine if they changed it for a good player. I mean, that would have been a crazy, development there. But yeah, that didn't work out.
My dad's from the Bronx and he's a huge Yankee fan. And he was sitting in the basement watching the game, and he goes, "We fucking changed the rule for this motherfucker."
Yeah. See, I feel like the only right move for the Yankees now is to overcorrect, and you make everybody shave their head for the next year. You go full reverse. Like, he ruined it for everybody. Now all of you can't even have regular hair. You have to shave.
Did you watch the Yankee game yesterday? Most of it?
To be honest, I was traveling back to the apartment.
Okay.
So I caught the Devin Williams punt job there in the 8th inning, but it was 0-0 entering the 8th. So I missed probably like half the game before that. And then Williams came in, and I said, well, this is going to get interesting. And it immediately got interesting. So I was like, all right, here you go. As soon as he gave up the single, I changed the channel. I didn't watch the rest of the game.
I mean, I watched like the first 5-6 innings of it. Nathan Eovaldi's been fucking shoving.
He kills the Yankees. I love Eovaldi. He's a former Yankee. He had Tommy John. They got rid of him. He's been a good pitcher for a long time. He's very solid.
He's so fucking good this year. But
yeah, very, very good.
Yeah. So yeah. I just wanted to talk about that real quick.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Mets, but
we can. Let's
no, because we'll save it for another time.
We can because I think people got mad at me because I tweeted out I won't name names, but I tweeted out, I hope the Mets do get no hit because they have no pride.
So you're hoping this would be the wake up call. Basically.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to learn the hard way, like my parents tell me. Like sometimes you need
to be honest, it really doesn't matter when people argue like, well, at least they didn't get no hit. You lost the game anyway.
You lost the game. It doesn't matter. It's a meaningless home run. People are like Juan Soto, and they're laughing in the dugout, celebrating. That's the problem. There's no accountability. There's no pride.
Accountability is a key word that I can use about my team because that definitely does not exist on my team at all. But
there's no fight. Francisco Lindor, that smile makes me so fucking mad, Scott. You have no idea.
It could be worse. He's not 0 for 41 anymore.
Yeah,
it could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
But people are like, "Oh, if you're a fan, you shouldn't say you shouldn't root for your team's demise, or you shouldn't say you hope they get no hit."
You're playing the long game.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll say what does fan? What's the acronym for fan? It's a crazy fanatic, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was trying to think of an actual phrase for it, I know it's short for fanatic. I don't know if each letter stands for something, but either way,
it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll say anything I fucking want about my team. I'm playing the long game. I said it last. I had that big rant on the show last year, and they went on that crazy run in August. So, hey, I'm playing the long game, and I don't. And to be honest, Scott, I think they're in serious trouble. All like jokes aside, I don't think they did enough at the deadline. You get all these pitchers and they're cool and whatnot, and Cedric Mullins is all right, but they didn't get another bat.
Yeah,
That's
look,
the problem.
as a Yankees fan, I can tell you right now, my team might not make the playoffs. So that's where I'm at right now in the standings. It's not fun looking at the wild card
I'd
race.
rather not fucking make the playoffs than make a wild card. Wild card, here we come with all the money that we've spent, and we're gonna get booted in the first round.
See, I think there are Yankee fans out there that actually do want the Yankees to struggle solely with the hope of them firing Aaron Boone.
They're not going
and
to
maybe
fire
Brian
him,
Cashman. So there are some people that are playing the long game thinking, well, if they miss the playoffs entirely and totally bottom out, maybe they'll actually get rid of Cashman, maybe they'll actually get rid of Boone. There are some people that think that.
What are your
I don't think it matters either way. I think it's a Hal Steinbrenner issue, but that's a separate story.
What do you think about the Red Sox? Because
they're very good.
They're very good, and they traded away their allegedly their best player, Rafael Devers, who's struggling right now. So it was like probably the best thing. They're on fire. Their bullpen's been amazing. They gave
Roman Anthony a ton of money.
A ton of money. The kid's a stud. Now they're 3 games above you. Do you think like they have a legit shot? Maybe not to catch the Blue Jays, but this team is good.
I mean, I think they can catch the Blue Jays. They're what, like 3 games back, and there's 2 months to go?
They are 3 games out. 3 games out of first place.
I was going to say, it's going to be 3.5 because Toronto's up 10-1, but the point is they play later, so we'll assume 3. They can still catch them. They're good. They're a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that in a playoff series, I don't know if I would trust the Red Sox with some of their youth to actually show up and make some noise, but I do think they'll get in.
Do you like the moves that they made, like getting Dustin May and Joe Ryan? I don't think it's a ton of talent.
Well, they didn't get Joe Ryan.
Who did they get?
Joe Ryan was rumored to potentially go to Boston. It turns out they made the whole thing up. They weren't close to getting him in the first place.
Wow.
So they did get May. They didn't get Joe Ryan.
Yeah, fake news.
Yeah, that was completely fake news. But the point is, I thought the May acquisition was kind of weird because I think he's fine, but I believe he's owed a decent amount of money in the future because he's going to have a contract that is expiring at some point. I've never been that in on him. I think he's okay. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox went youth moving. Could they have done more? Probably. But you know what? You can argue overachieving based on preseason expectation.
Yeah.
Let the young guys cook. Let's see what happens.
You think they're one, I guess you could say, weakness is the pitching? Like starting pitching?
The bullpen's been better than I expected because Chapman's been good, which I think people didn't expect. Mm-hmm. And the fact is you are looking at what was supposed to be their closer, I guess, in Hendricks, who's barely pitched. He's been really bad in general, and they've still been able to survive. So the rotation's been very good because Crochet's been really good. Yeah. Bayo's been very good as well. They're a pretty deep team. My question would be, once again, the youth in the lineup, and we'll see if they can handle the playoff atmosphere, etc. But I don't think it's fluky. I think they're a good team.
No, I would agree.
Same with Toronto. I think that team's good too.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the wild card and seeing, they have the first place, then, Seattle's second, and then Yankees and Rangers are right there fighting for that third spot.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but I'll put it this way. For the AL East, my last point, I do think the right 2 teams are in first and second place.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. I think Toronto and Boston are the best 2 teams in that division.
Are you surprised how bad Tampa has been?
No. I'm not. I remember I did the AL East preview with Mal, and I liked the under on the Rays. And it was mainly because I didn't trust McClanahan to be healthy. I was 100% right about that one.
He's never healthy.
He's never healthy. That's the problem. But he's supposed to be an ace, and he's never there.
Yeah.
You're looking at Taj Bradley, who got traded and demoted. I had questions about the rotation. They had a couple of guys, even Pepe and Baz have been decent. I didn't know if they would be. Like, they had a bunch of question marks in that rotation. They never spend any money, so I knew they'd be selling at the deadline. And they didn't really sell, but my point is I knew they weren't going to be buying for the most part. I am not surprised. The offense I thought was going to be pretty average at best. It has been. The rotation I had some question marks about. I like the bullpen, which has actually been a problem for them at various points in the season. But it was the rotation in the lineup. I just wasn't sold on them.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by it. And not surprised in the fact that, they're not top of the division, but as bad as they are. I mean, 56 and 59, I don't think I was expecting that, or at least personally. And then
I thought they'd miss the playoffs. I thought Toronto would be decent. Keyword decent. I thought they'd be like 82-80. I like their win total over. I didn't think they'd win like 90 plus games, but I
Yeah.
thought they'd be better than expected.
And
Not
then
this good, but
I thought Arizona was going to be much better. Like the moves that they made, I thought they were really going to take that next step. And I didn't think Padres were going to be as good as they were. They didn't really make any moves or make any additions. And really in a really hard competitive NL West, I thought the Padres were going to take a step back and Arizona was going to take a step forward. And I was completely wrong about that.
yeah, I think most of us were on the same page for that division. I think the one exception would be really if Arizona's one World Series run was just a flash in the pan. And because of
Maybe.
that, now everyone's expectations are too high on this team. The
Mhm.
bullpen is still a mess. I know Gallen's been terrible, but the rotation was supposed to be decent. I don't think anybody felt great about the rotation, but Gallen falling off a cliff wasn't ideal for that team. And the lineup people liked. But I feel like Arizona, that one year where they made it to the World Series, that might have warped the expectations for the franchise for the next X amount of years down the road,
Yeah.
including our expectations on the show.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they also dealt with some injuries too early on in the
Well,
season.
Marte's always hurt. Carroll got hurt last year, but I think for the most part he's kind of durable. But Marte is never healthy,
No. He's
so
a
that's
good
always a
player,
problem.
but yeah, it's
And nobody
unfortunate.
thought Suarez would be this good,
No.
and they traded him away. But I think him being this good was really something nobody could have expected.
No.
So there you go.
There you
But
go. There's 20 minutes.
yep, there you go. Anyway, before we get into the actual games for the card for Thursday, a reminder that you can check out Sports Game Podcast with the NFL team previews because they're previewing every team, all 32 teams, and they're also bringing back the phrase the pace. Each episode will be a keyword of a 32-word phrase. Submit the entire phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. We're also brought to you by McFancy because Best Mania happening all summer long. Giving away 15 million prizes, 2 men first place, no waiver wire, no trade arguments. Best ball's this way to play fantasy football. And a reminder that Arnold also has a great option for pick'em. If you want to create some entries, you go up to 500 times your entry. Sign up for a new account though. The code MLB SGPN. You get special pick and first time visit offer up to 1K in bonus cash. On fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. It's available in a ton of locations. You can bet on baseball, to bet on WNBA, to bet on tennis, golf, and of course football futures. A reminder, you can use crypto for deposits and fast payouts. When you sign up though for your new account, use code SGPN to get 100% of the match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply with the G promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Ended up getting into a bit of a sidetrack there for 20 minutes. Time to move on into the actual games for the Thursday card. Once again, a very, very small slate, only 4 games on the card. Starting off with the A's taking on the Nationals. The Nationals can't pitch. They've lost 6 in a row. They've allowed 7+ runs in all of those games. And they've allowed at least 14 runs in 3 of the last 4 games. This team cannot pitch to save their damn lives. But for this matchup, maybe, just maybe, they'll find a way to pitch decently. You have Mitchell Parker pitching against Lopez here. For the pricing, I see the A's at -124. I see the Nationals at +110. For the over-under, I see 9 in this game. I like the A's in this matchup. They've been good offensively. They've scored at least 5 runs in 8 of their last 11. They scored at least, I believe it was 5 runs in 5 or 6 straight road games. Langoliers had 3 home runs yesterday.
Yeah.
Rooker's still healthy. They still have Kurtz. They still have Soderstrom's been good lately again. They have an offense that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And the Nationals really can't pitch. I'll go with the A's. I think Lopez is actually not bad. I think he can be pretty good here. Give me the A's at -124.
Yeah, I see -124 as well. I was right at my number. I'm going to take the A's. I mean, outside of my Mets, the Nationals are just another team that's not backable right
They're
now.
terrible.
They're
really
terrible.
bad.
You mentioned their pitching. They have the worst bullpen in the league. And offensively, I think they're okay, but I don't think they could compete with the A's right now. You mentioned they've lost 6 in a row. And the A's are going the other way, 7-3 in their last 10. They're actually better on the road than they are at home. And offensively, I agree. They've been red hot. I think there could be a legit argument that they are a top 10 offense. They put up 16 runs the other night against Washington. They're top 10 in hits, home runs, doubles, slugging percentage, batting average. This team could hit. It's the pitching and the bullpen that's not the best. And now they get Mitchell Parker, who, look at his last outing. He got absolutely destroyed in his last start. So there's just no way I could back the Nationals in this bullpen. I like first 5 -1/2. I like -124. they stink, the Nationals. I got to take the A's here. Agree.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you're just looking at a team that, one's not playing for anything. Two,
Yeah.
you're looking at every pitcher on the team, including Mackenzie Gore, and none of them are good. None of them. And the A's are a team that might not be good either, but you know what? Offensively, they've been surprisingly decent.
Who are
That's
the
good
best?
enough for me.
Who's the best two players on the Nationals? Gore and
The
who?
problem is one of them strikes out 3 times a game now because James Wood forgot how to hit.
I was just gonna say, is it even James Wood anymore?
It would be Wood and Abrams if you had to pick 2 guys, but I mean, Wood's been really bad. Even right before the All-Star break, he was really bad.
But that's what happens when you do the home run derby.
No, but I'm saying, like, even before that, the strikeouts were an issue, and then they became an extreme issue over the last couple weeks. He's kind of become younger Joey Gallo.
Wow.
And not in a good way. He's striking out a ton.
Whatever happened to Joey
like.
Gallo? Is he pitching?
Yeah, he's trying to be a pitching prospect. I think it's with the White Sox, I think.
Oh, good for him.
I don't remember if he got cut or not, but I remember he was trying to be a pitcher.
I hope he gets back to the big leagues, honestly.
Let me see if I could actually find out what happened to him. I want to say he got cut. I actually don't remember.
That's unfortunate.
Let me see if Joey Gallo's up to anything. Yeah, I don't see anything on him.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he ended up getting cut. But let me just see Joey Gallo RotoWire. Let me actually see. We'll go down this rabbit hole real quick. Making a switch to pitching March 16th. I haven't seen anything since. So
he's still transitioning.
Apparently. Let me see if there's any numbers on him.
Scott, it takes time to be a professional league pitcher.
I mean, he hits like a pitcher. This guy was batting. Speaking of guys that I love taking for the under half a hit, that was the first ballot Hall of Fame guy.
Really?
I used to get like minus 110 on that guy, and he'd only bat against righties. He'd strike out 2 times a game. It was great. I had a great time.
Who was your favorite when pitchers used to hit? Who is your favorite pitcher that hit?
Well, you would never get the unders for props back then, so it would have to be a good hitter. It was either Greinke or Bumgarner. I mean, I feel like most people would feel the same way. Syndergaard was underrated at hitting.
Syndergaard was.
But I think most
was Jacob
people,
DeGrom.
DeGrom could hit too. The problem was he was always injured.
Steven Matz
was always hurt. Matz was always an option, but then he became a reliever, so he was actually barely batting towards the end. But Bumgarner was the home run guy. Greinke was the best pitcher hitter that I remember.
Yeah.
If you're not counting Lorenzen, who was like a halftime pitcher, halftime outfielder for the Reds back then it was probably Greinke.
We're not counting Shohei, right?
No, Shohei's cheating.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So that's out of the question. Obviously Bumgarner, he was phenomenal growing up. What about Carlos Zambrano?
So he was a head case who hit home runs with the Cubs. I remember Bronson Arroyo, who was a pretty good hitter.
Legend.
Back then, he was pretty good. Yeah, not really many good. I'd say many pitchers who tried to hit were absolutely useless at it, but Zambrano was a classic one. Arroyo was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Greinke's probably my favorite.
Honestly, the best video, and this is obviously a little biased, but when Bartolo Colon, Big Sexy, hit that home run,
that's almost impossible.
I was so happy for him.
That was the peak of pitcher hitting. It's why they discontinued it. You'd never beat a moment like that. So that was basically it.
Shout out Bartolo.
Yeah, either way, shout out to Bartolo.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next game on the card, you have the White Sox taking on the Mariners. For this one, you have Smith against Gilbert. For the pricing, you have Seattle, who's a massive favorite at minus 270. For the over-under, I see 7.5. For the run line, I see Seattle minus 1.5 and minus 115. The White Sox plus 1.5 and minus 105. I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I think Gilbert's good. I think you're looking at a spot where Seattle, at the end of the day, has the better roster. They bought at the deadline. Gilbert's been great at home, a 2.27 ERA. He's not been as good lately. I'll admit, last 2 starts, 11 innings pitched, 7 earned. But I like him at home. I like him more than Smith. And I like the lineup more for Seattle than the White Sox. Seattle, though, has been objectively better since the trade deadline. They have won 4 of the last 5. They won a big series against Texas, winning 3 out of 4 at home. I like him in the spot. I'll go Mariners minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'll probably be on the Mariners run line here, too. I made him a huge favorite. Shane Smith just has not been good on the road, especially in the month of July. He's given up 2+ runs in his last 3 road starts. And White Sox, they have been all right, but you really want to back them at home. On the road, I think they're not really good. Offensively, they're struggling, and I don't think they're just going to be able to get enough runs to win this game, especially against Logan Gilbert. Mariners are playing well. They won 4 of the last 5 games. Gilbert's been really good at home. On the road, there are times where you could fade him, but at home, I think he's been good. He has yet to give up more than 3 runs at home all season. I think he's going to limit Chicago here. And even if he doesn't, he's backed up by a top 10 bullpen. I think quietly Mariners bullpen has been really good as well. So, yeah, I'm going to take Mariners on the run line. I even like them first 5 -1/2 as well. But, yeah, I'm going to be on Seattle here as well.
I do want to quickly segue, though, just briefly talking about the AL West. Out of those teams, all the teams that should make the playoffs are looking at what is the Astros, and you could argue both the Rangers and Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to pick one team that you thought had the best chance of making a deep run, maybe to the World Series in what should be a pretty open AL, who would you pick and why?
If you asked me last week, it probably would have been the Rangers because
I feel like the opinion's going to keep changing because I feel like these teams are very streaky, but I'm curious.
Streaky. Right now, I probably would take the Mariners because I trust them a little more, especially on the road, because I don't think any of these teams are going to get home field home games. So,
well, Houston will because they're winning the division right now.
Houston, but between Seattle and
Texas, no, they'd be guaranteed wildcard teams. So.
Yeah, I would take Seattle, but as a whole, it's hard not to take Houston because of the experience that they have in the postseason. You get Carlos Correa back.
I understand what you're saying, and Jordan might come back, which might help, but I saw them lose both home games against Detroit last year. I don't know what it is about Houston, but
I think that was a little fluky. You mentioned Arizona being a little fluky run. I think Detroit was also, and I know that might ruffle some feathers, but I think that was a little fluky as well.
Oh, they ended up losing in the second round, so it wasn't like they made a serious run, but
that's
still.
Fair.
The point is, I do think Houston, looking at that lineup without Paredes, etc., I'm just not sold on the offense. I know Peña's been really good.
Yeah.
I know that Altuve can be dangerous at any time. I think Correa might be washed. That's a separate story. But Christian Walker's been a kind of underwhelming acquisition.
But aren't they banking on Jordan to
You're
come
banking
back?
a lot on Jordan, who's injured all the time. That's what I'm saying. You're banking a lot on a guy who's pretty injury prone. I understand why people were going to buy in on Houston because they've been here before. You never really want to count them out. I don't know. I feel like there's something with that team I'm just not vibing with. I feel like they're a team that might be one and done again. I'm just not sold on that team.
Would you take Seattle?
I think I might.
Yeah. Because the pitching, they've never had the problem with the pitching. The starting pitching's good. The bullpen, I love.
It's always about the offense.
It's the offense. But on the road this year, they have been serviceable. It's just not at home.
If I had to pick one team that I think would make a Cinderella deep run, I probably would end up picking the Rangers solely because of the Bochy nonsense that happens every October. I can't really explain it, but Bochy just invents ways to win World Series. It makes no sense. They'll get a wild card spot. They'll look really average, and they just become world beaters in October.
And Corey Seager will be a top 5 player in the league.
He's so damn good. He's so good. If Garcia's even decent for 3 weeks, they can be dangerous, but I think that Texas can be dangerous. Seattle can be too. Even if Houston wins that division, they're only 3 games up. I really don't see the upside on Houston that a lot of other people see.
The pitching and the bullpen for all 3 of these teams are top 5, top 10-ish. It's the hitting. It's the offense. It's what it's going to come down to. And I think I would trust Seattle right now a little more.
I think Texas' offense is pretty good. The problem is they're not good on the road at all.
No.
Which is a serious problem. Because
especially
they're really
in the playoffs.
good.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs.
When you're not going to have a playoff series at home, at least you're not going to have home field in a series, that's going to be a big deal. Seattle, the issue is going to be the lack of experience. They have a lot of guys on the roster. They haven't really been a playoff team. I know they beat Toronto that one year. That was like the only time they've made it in I don't even know how long. It's been a long time since they made the playoffs, besides that one year. So you could argue inexperience might play a factor. The offense, I know Raleigh still hits home runs. He's been terrible post All-Star break for average. I'm not the biggest Julio guy. I'm not as high on Julio as other people are. So I could argue that the top-end talent of the lineup can be a bit underwhelming at times. But I do like the moves they made. I like getting Naylor. I like getting Suarez. Like they clearly bought, and I respect what they did.
I agree. I mean, if you look at the how much, what are they averaging on the road runs per game? Seattle's third in the league behind Milwaukee, who's just a juggernaut,
and the rotation is nasty.
And the rotation is nasty.
Well, so is the Rangers. I think that's the problem Houston runs into, because you're looking at Valdez, who has been very good this year, and then you're looking at who else they have in that rotation. And I'm going to ask you, who else do you really like? They got Arrighetti back today, who's getting shelled right now, but he hasn't pitched in a while, so I'm not surprised. Do you like the rotation, Houston?
Not really.
I feel like that's the problem. I think Texas, with DeGrom assuming health, Eovaldi, you throw in Merrill Kelly in there. Both those teams have a filthy rotation.
Yeah. Are you a Hunter Brown guy?
I like Hunter Brown. I think he's solid. The problem is he had a pretty serious slump for a month. He's bounced back since then. But yes, Brown would be probably the game 2 starter. I think that I don't know. Like, I think Brown's very good, but I might just want to see a bit more proven in October.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
But I like Hunter Brown. I think he's good.
Yeah, I do too.
So, want to mention that for that division.
You know, you're good. I guess I'm thinking about the rookies in that rotation, but they're not going to pitch in the postseason.
I'm saying, like, back end of that rotation for Houston. Who do you have?
No one. And you mentioned they got Arrighetti back, but they have no one, and they're also hurt too. You know, Christian Javier's hurt.
Paredes being out a massive deal in general to the lineup, and you're mentioning the pitching injuries they have. But, I mean, they're throwing out, like, Gordon, Walter, like, they tried out McCullers. That didn't work. Yeah. They really don't have a back end of that rotation for a playoff series, which is a problem.
I think Seattle, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brandon Wu, and Castillo. I think Brandon Wu might be the best pitcher on the team.
I'm saying, like, they have a legitimate, they have a fantastic rotation for a playoff series. And the Rangers do too. Yeah, Kelly as a 3 is filthy.
Yeah, I
agree. Me. So I think those rotations are better than Houston's. So I think that they're better built for October. The counter argument is Detroit had one starting pitcher last year in school ball, used a bunch of relievers, and they won a series. But I think you need a good rotation to actually make a serious run, which is why I think there's a ceiling on Houston.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's my thoughts on those 3 teams. Anyway, moving on to the next game, you have the Reds taking on the Pirates. For this one, you have the Reds who are favored in this game. You have Singer. Actually, no, sorry, you have Skeens pitching. So you have Pittsburgh being favored in this one. Pittsburgh's minus 180. You have the Reds who are about a plus 150. The over-under is at 7.5. Skeens has been amazing. He's 6-8, 2.02 ERA. He'll win the Cy Young. I mean, guy's an absolute monster. Reds have had a pretty up and down season. They're 5 over right now. They have split their last 8 games. Classic Cincinnati fashion. So nothing too shocking there. I'll ask you, any case to be made for the Reds, or do you want to just go with Skeens again because Skeens is an absolute savage?
Yeah, we actually saw Paul Skeens be human for once in his last start. To be honest, I actually was surprised it was against Colorado. You know, maybe the Reds have a chance here making it 2 bad starts in a row for him. I only made the Pirates a minus 140 favorite. Obviously, they should be favorite here. The value, I think, is clearly with the Reds, in my opinion. Pirates have been serviceable at home this season. I also like Brady Singer. I think the under is actually the play. We talked about it earlier in the show. Under 7.5. I like that the most. My total came out to 6.7. I think we're going to see a low-scoring game here with these 2 pitchers. Both clubs, they have solid bullpens as well. I think Skeens, he's going to bounce back after that surprising outing against Colorado. And Singer, you know, he's had back-to-back starts as well. And he pitched well back in late May against this Pirate team. The game ended 3-1, a very low-scoring game. These offenses really don't blow anyone away either. PNC, I think it's a hitter-friendly ballpark, but winds are going to be blowing in, so it should help us. I'm going to take the under 7.5. I think we see a low-scoring game.
I like the under anyway. Every Skeens game, either he pitches very well and they even win, or he pitches well and they get no run support at all and they lose. Either way, under. Yeah. I see a low-scoring game. I think that you're looking at Skeens who should pitch well. And the Reds' offense, I thought would be better this year. It's not terrible, but I thought it'd be better. That's all I'll say. I mean, if you want to look at the
Hasn't it been a little better since last year?
They rank 10th in runs per game, which is higher than I thought, honestly. But I feel like a lot of their season is just a series of runs. They'll win 5 in a row, they'll lose 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And they find their way 5 over, but they're either hitting very well or not at all. And it kind of varies depending on the week. That's kind of what I noticed, at least for this team. So I think at the end of the day, it's a spot where I'm going to go with the under in this matchup for this game.
Real quick, I wanted to ask you before we go, do you really buy into we'll stay in the NL Central with Cincinnati. Do you really buy into Milwaukee being, I know record-wise they're the best team. Do you think they are the best team right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching them play, yeah. That the team's a freight train. I think that you could argue in the playoffs for Milwaukee, the issue is still going to be the lack of the long ball because they rely so much on singles and just moving the line. If the bats dry up, they have problems. You could argue the rotation, which is fine right now.
That's what I was going to ask you.
got injured. You got Peralta. You have a couple other guys. You got Quintana, who is a gamer, who can battle. He was very good for you. You shouldn't do that. He was very good for
but
you
I don't like him here. I don't like him for Milwaukee. And are you sold on Brandon Woodruff?
I love Woodruff. I have always been a Woodruff guy. The issue is he's never healthy. I've always been a very big fan of Woodruff. But I do think Milwaukee's a team that I am into. I can understand why people might be out on because they choke in the playoffs every year and they don't have that one super pitcher or that one super hitter. Mizorowski's still a rookie. I don't trust him to immediately go into a playoff series and dominate. So they are lacking the super upper echelon talent. But it's not fluky. This team's really good.
Yeah, I don't think it's fluky. I don't know if I trust their bullpen. I was going to ask you about their the pitching roster. I don't know if they don't have that one guy that's, he's box office. He's must see. But I don't know. I'm not high on them. I don't think they're gonna go far in the playoffs. That's just me.
That's fine because in previous years they don't. This team always seems to go one and done or they choke. But we saw that last year with, of course, the Mets series. But I don't know. Just watching this team play, maybe it's because it's a throwback to old baseball teams. They're just so non-home run dependent that it's refreshing to me when you actually have 8 or 9 guys in your lineup that construct good at-bats. You don't have guys that are chasing these really bad pitches, ignoring situations, trying to just launch home runs. This team knows how to hit with guys on base. And you know what? I really appreciate it because I'm really tired of seeing guys just chase home runs, ignore simple hit the runner over strategy, small ball, whatever you want to call it. It's fundamental baseball, and it's kind of gotten lost in today's league. The Brewers are kind of a throwback team.
Yeah.
The teams that generate tons of hits, they work counts, they get to your bullpen early. I really like this team.
Yeah, I think it goes back. I think why I'm so skeptical is because the long ball. I just don't know if they
I get it. Like most teams in today's baseball, you need to hit some home runs to win a series. But
yeah,
it's kind of why I'm rooting for Milwaukee. I just like the fact that they decided, you know what? We don't have the bopper that's going to give you 40 in a year. Mm-hmm. So what if we just hit like 10 singles in a game and just killed you? And I'm like, you know what? I actually appreciate it. Like they've been a wagon. And that series against the Nationals is one of the best series of all time.
Yeah.
By a team. So
56 hits.
56 hits in 3 games. They average roughly 19 hits per game. It is amazing to watch them play. And they've made me a lot of money backing that team. So I like Milwaukee. I think they're good.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
So you would take the Cubs over them in a playoff series?
Mm-hmm. I would.
I don't know if I would. I think the Cubs have more star power. I don't know. I really like this Milwaukee team.
There's something about them.
It could be pure bias because they play baseball the way that I like baseball teams to play. But the fact is there's a certain IQ element to this team where I feel like defensively, offensively with situational awareness, the bullpen usage, it feels like they make the right decision more often than not. And I cannot say the same about other teams in the league. Yeah. I feel like their situational awareness and their baseball IQ at least feels higher than every other team in the league.
Yeah.
Watching them play. And you know what? I'm biased towards high IQ teams.
Yeah, you're going to root for them. That's all right.
Yeah. So there you go. But I'm rooting for Milwaukee, and hopefully they make a deep run. So we'll go from there. Either way, though, I'm moving on to the next matchup. You have the Marlins taking on the Braves. This is the final game of the card. So once again, a very, very short slate. For this one, you have Perez taking on Carrasco, who's somehow still in the league. I don't really know how he's still in the league. For the actual pricing, the Marlins are favored. They're minus 122. For the Braves, you have plus 104. For the over-under, I see 8. Now, Perez this season has been fine. 4-3, 2.7 ERA. Great last start, killed the Yankees. He has given up less than 3 earned runs in a bunch of starts in a row. 6 straight starts. He's allowed less than 3 earned, but he has only gone more than 6 innings one time. So you have seen him go mainly 5 or 6 in that stretch. For Carrasco, I mean, if you get thrown off the Yankees pitching staff, that's how you know you're bad. Because damn, the Carrasco experiment failed miserably with the Yankees. But this season, he made 1 outing with the Braves. He was pretty good, actually. 6 innings, 3 runs against the Reds. That was the crazy extra inning game where they blew a 9-run lead or 8-run lead. But still, for this game, give me Miami. They're the better team. They're in better form. Perez, the better pitcher. It's minus 122. It's a great price. Give me Miami.
Yeah, I don't mind minus 122 at all. I mean, how can I was saying it earlier in the show? How can anyone back the Nationals? How can anyone back Carlos Carrasco? He's terrible. Yuri Perez, he's actually looked great, I think. He's only given up a total of 4 runs in the last 34 innings. Just 1 home run given up either. Yeah, I just don't trust this Braves team. I don't see them scoring a ton of runs in this one. Marlins actually have the better offense. They're a better team. Yuri Perez is the better pitcher. They have the better bullpen. And Carrasco, he gives up the long ball a lot. That's always been a problem for him as well. And you know, the Marlins have had their number. The Braves this season, 3-1 in their last 4. I mean, who's really backing the Braves at this point? At home, on the road, it really doesn't matter.
I mean, it flows back to Milwaukee. I've been back in Milwaukee all series, and I'm just printing tickets at this point because the Braves suck.
I think it's also a reason I asked that earlier is because they're my kryptonite, and no matter whenever I'm on Milwaukee and I think I get a good number, they wind up losing. I'm like, this team is a wagon. When I bet them, they lose? So it's like, I hate betting Milwaukee.
I faded Eric Fetty in the first game of the series. I had a great time. So
I'm just gonna reach out to you
decently in the game too. He made 1 bad pitch and Collins hit a 3-run homer. Yeah. But yeah, it worked out for me.
But yeah, I'm on the Marlins as well.
Yeah. For the game, for the over-under, I guess I'm on the under, but I'd rather take a side because I'd rather go Braves team total under, actually. I'll ignore Carrasco entirely. So There we go. Either way, that's going to wrap it up for all the games on the card. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Before we get into the actual Lock and Dog picks, a reminder, they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Circa, because they're still hosting 3 of the biggest football contests for the upcoming season in the NFL. It's Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Undecimo, over $21 million guaranteed prizes. You cannot call yourself a 2D-Gen if you're not competing in Circa football contests. A reminder, though, you can hang out the SGPN squad at Circa Contest Weekend from the 21st to the 23rd of August for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off your stay at Circa with the code SGP15. So, a reminder that you can enter the contest. It's open to everybody. Sign up in Nevada. Click Render. The help of SGPN's official proxy at footballcontest.com. Use code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Rhythm because they have Power Trends, which are now called Smart Signals. They changed the name. Do I like the new name? Debatable. But it's the same thing. Power Trends, Smart Signals, whatever. Either way, they are the best props that the house model has to offer. They've been really, really good for baseball and for WNBA. So for MLB, Smart Signals are crushing it. Mike Trout and Stan are combined 14-0 on Smart Signals recommended unders. So whenever the Power Trends, Smart Signals tell you to take an under on those 2 guys, take it, and you're undefeated. You're looking at WNBA, though. The Smart Signals, since the All-Star break, are 27-16. So check out the WNBA and the MLB for the, once again, props on Smart Signals. Download the app, check out Power Trends or Smart Signals, and once again, start betting smarter. And we also have a free trial link with Rhythm. So get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamble.com/rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games for the card on Thursday. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your Lock and Dog for the show?
Yeah, I'm going to lock up the A's here against the Nationals, who stink. Metro Parker's not someone I really want to back. And in this A's team, I love their offense right now. They're trending in the opposite way of the Nationals, who have lost 6 in a row. So I'll take the A's here on the money line. I like them. That will be my lock. As my dog, fuck it. I'll take the Reds. I do think it's a little mispriced. I understand Paul Skeens being favored here at home, but I'm gonna trust my numbers. I only made him a -140 favorite. I think Brady Singer has been serviceable. And you never really know. You mentioned it earlier. You're like, hey, with the under, either Paul Skeens' pitch is phenomenal, which I do think he will. They still might lose the game 2-0, 2-1. So you never really know with this offense against the Pirates. You mentioned it. Reds, top 10 runs per game, and they're better on the road as well. So I think the value is with the Reds. I'll take the Reds here as my dog.
All right. So for my lock, I'm going to go with I'll go with Seattle, -1.5 at -115. White Sox, we know, are not good. They've been better than people thought because they set the bar very low last year. They're still 29 games under, and they're 21 under on the road. Seattle 7 over at home. They've been playing good baseball lately. They won the first game of the series 8-3. They've won 4 of the last 5. The White Sox have lost 2 straight by 3+ runs. You mentioned that Smith has been pretty bad on the road this year, which definitely has been true. I just think Gilbert at home, who's been very good, should look sharp here. Looking at the actual numbers for Smith, ERA is actually the same, home and road. But I do think his lack of length is concerning, and Seattle's offense has been quite good lately. Give me Seattle, -1.5 at -115. For my dog, thought about the A's, but you know what? I will go with the Marlins, actually. Give me the Marlins, -1.5 at +130. I don't need an excuse to fade Atlanta, but Riley being out and Acuna being out is the cherry on top for me for a bad team in the first place. I like Perez. I don't like Carrasco. The road team, in good form, 9 guaranteed at bats on the road. Give me Miami, -1.5 at +130 as my dog for the show. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the show. Dylan will make good time. 52 minutes for 4 games. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, Nathan says he likes my explanation because they stink. Sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. They stink.
That's my breakdown for Miami. The Braves stink. They're missing the 2 best players, and Carrasco stinks. So there you go.
We have a serial dildo thrower, though, in the WNBA.
Yes, again. We do. I heard that they confiscated one before it could be thrown as well. They had multiple dildos in the arena last night.
I'm not laughing because you really shouldn't throw things on the court, but man, it's fucking hilarious that it's a dildo. It's so fucking funny.
See, I'm trying to actually figure out what the reason behind it was in the first place. I assumed it would be some type of like streamer prank, like something like that to go viral, but nobody's claimed it. So I'm a little bit confused on what the actual end game is here. Unless the idea is we're just going to try to sabotage the game and make jokes. But you're not getting famous from it because nobody knows who it is.
No, and one person got arrested.
Yeah.
And it happened to be, well, the first 2 times, it was all Golden State games, wasn't it?
See, I think it was Golden State games, but I feel like there's been a connection to the Indiana Fever. I think that was the other connection.
Oh.
It was the Fever being involved. So I don't actually know what the connection is per se, but yeah, look, if you want to talk about it from a league that's trying to take itself seriously, it's a bad look. For the sake of a league that most people don't care about, people are talking about it. I'm not saying that teams are going to start selling team-sponsored dildos at the gift shop, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, people are talking about the WNBA. That counts as something, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, what's the saying? Any publicity is good publicity?
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity. People are talking about it, so I guess the WNBA should be happy, like, behind closed doors. People are talking about it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But people are paying attention to the league, I guess. It's a bad look
for something.
Once again, you're not going to see them at the gift shop, but you might see them on the court, so keep that in mind.
Al Gore wants to know, are we going to have a WNBA pod tonight?
So I have to reach out to Terrell. It really comes down to his schedule. Let me see how many games are going on. So we got 3 games for tomorrow, either tonight or tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning because I have no MLB prop show tomorrow, so probably in the morning. But there will most likely be an episode for the 3 games.
Nathan, this is a PG-13 show, but sometimes it's a sports. It happens.
I mean, it is the story right now in WNBA.
It is.
So the thing is, WNBA, if you want to go full conspiracy, they paid somebody to do it because with Caitlin Clark being injured, they needed something to talk about.
Wow.
That's the conspiracy angle that you might find. So there you go.
Can we find all this on the WNBA pod?
If you bring it up on the WNBA pod, we might talk about it, but I don't know.
Okay. Well,
we actually crushed the last step. We won every pick.
Atta boy.
Terrell and I hit the lock and dog. We swept the underdog entry. We won everything we gave out on the show. So that was definitely nice. But yeah, either way, maybe we'll talk about it on the show. Probably not, but there was a prop available on Offshore. You could bet on the color of the next dildo.
Yeah, bet online. I saw that.
I love the argument of how some people trying to, like, of course, get some clout on social media were saying, why don't you just bet on the color and then throw it onto the court and you'll make money to pay off the fines or whatever. Like, you just throw $50,000 on blue. Tell me you've never bet on BetOnline before without telling me you've never bet on BetOnline before. You know what your max limit will be on that prop? $10. Mm-hmm. You think you're going to be able to pay off your mortgage on a dildo WNBA prop? Tell me you've never bet on an offshore book before. Your max bet's $10.
And they don't even let you withdraw your money unless you have a certain amount in your bankroll.
I've used BetOnline before. I've been able to withdraw. So I've never had an issue with BetOnline for withdrawing, but I also avoided the rollover. I knew going in the rollover trap, so I stayed away from it. But yeah, there you go.
Well, on a positive note, it's taco night tonight. So
for who?
For me.
Oh, you kind of ruined it. I thought it's Taco Tuesday.
Oh no! Thank God it's not fucking Tuesday.
I'm just saying. I thought that was when tacos are supposed to be.
No, there's never a set date for. You can have tacos every day.
That you can.
Come on.
Challenge accepted. That you can. You a soft shell or a hard shell taco guy?
Both. I like a hard shell.
What kind of cop out is that?
Hard.
Okay, good answer. Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer soft, but you tell me both. How's that supposed to do for me?
I'll have both. I don't discriminate, but I'd rather prefer.
Of course you'll have both. It's tacos. I'm asking which one you like more. Come on.
What I don't.
You're going hard. Okay, that's fine.
What I don't like is Taco Bell.
Okay. What about it? Is it the bathroom trip after? You don't like
Thank you. I don't want to spend my night on the bathroom.
That's fine.
That's it.
I remember that they had the cheese and bean burrito for like $1.29. Dangerous.
You remember the black Dorito taco? There's like the volcano taco.
That's not the Locos taco, right? That was the other one.
That was the other one.
The sequel's never as good as the original. Fun fact.
Never. We have this Mexican deli in the hood around by me, and they're $1 tacos, and you get just like
that's
a plate. Hype. Oh my God, it's so fucking good.
I'm gonna have to ask you, just out of curiosity, do the people behind the counter, is it fully authentic, like Mexican?
Yes, they
tacos?
Make it right in the back. Yes, it's a family-owned business. That's why I like supporting.
That's what you're looking for.
Yes, they make. Yeah. You could tell someone makes it with love. Too.
Good. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, when I get tacos. Yeah, that's what you want. So there you go. But either way, hopefully you enjoy your tacos.
Thank you.
Anyway, until next time, find me on Twitter, Rich Radio. Find me on Twitter at Rock with 2Ks24. Until next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets.